What is up, guys? Welcome to another market update. Today is Thursday, February 12th, 2026, and we're going to talk about what happened in the market, what you should be looking out for, and I'm going to give you some levels, some points, some trading strategies so that you guys can make some money. I hope you guys enjoy videos like this. My name is Sumi. If you ever want to trade with me, link is down below. Let's jump into it. Let me go ahead and share my screen here so you guys can follow along at what I'm seeing on the charts. Boom, here we go. So chart sharing is now active. Let's talk about SPY. SPY had a little bit of a positive push in the morning, actually. We were up 0.42%, but we slowly started to tumble. Dow was up 0.31%, NASDAQ was up 0.39%, and as you can see, like Wall Street was digesting everything going on. SPY actually was running up pretty well in the pre-market session, but then everything just fell out. You know, these days have been happening more and more. SPY broke 688 right away, like it broke all the way through. I thought we'd have support at 690 because yesterday we kind of had a dip there. Okay, if you look at yesterday's chart, we were kind of trading here and we were struggling to break that 690 point. So SPY was pretty strong yesterday and it was pretty strong today, and then it just all the way kind of dropped. And even in after hours, SPY is looking around 680 here. Okay, it's still very, very low. SPY is not looking good. QQQ as well at 600 did not take as much of a drop as SPY in terms of percentage points, but QQQ is also not doing very good, and these are just getting absolutely really wrecked. Okay, so strong sell-off from QQQ right in the morning. That should have been the sign right there. SPY was pushing up, QQQ was selling off. This sold off. A little bit of consolidation in the middle of the day for SPY and QQQ, but then more active sell-off around 3 o'clock. And so there's something that you need to understand. The market is still very much intraday selling. There's a huge range that we're operating in. SPY dropped about 1%, NASDAQ 100 about 1.4% respectively. Cisco dropped about 12% as the market outlook is signaling higher memory chip prices are going to be taking a toll. Most of the mega caps retreated. ETF tracking software companies slumped about 2.5%. Gold and silver just getting wrecked. The Bitcoin sell-off happened even more. The market itself is selling off. Okay, a lot of things are being liquidated here. So take a look at gold. Gold dropped a massive leg right there. Silver dropped a massive leg right there. Both gold and silver took a hit. AMD ran down. Nvidia also, in a way, ran down. Nvidia is actually down to 186 here. And at the end of the day, Apple took a hit. Microsoft found a base at 400. Google took a hit. Meta took a hit. Everything in the market went down. The only thing that really is making money is Johnson & Johnson, okay? Shout out Johnson & Johnson. Shout out my Johnson & Johnson trade. Making a little bit of money for us, so not the end of the world. But I took a little bit of trades. I took some puts today. I did take a call when it did start to consolidate, but that did not end up well, and we actually lost that call. So we had 3 puts that worked, and we had 1 call that didn't really make any money. I had to cut that out short. Anthropic finalized a deal to raise $30 billion in funding at $380 billion valuation in Bloomberg. So that's further fueling the narrative that AI is coming for traditional software, which is killing this. They're calling the disaster. Get it there? The SaaS stocks are getting hit a second day in the row. So the main trigger that we see here is Cisco's earning report showed that memory chip price inflation is crushing the margins. It's absolutely insane. And the market immediately extrapolated that every single tech company that uses chips from here to there, from Apple to cloud, to the hyperscaler to every hardware name, is going to deal with this. So combined with this ongoing software Armageddon, if you will, it was a full-on tech sell-off. So let's talk about the stocks and let's talk about how they're performing. So Apple, okay? Apple's the biggest victim of Cisco's memory chip margin scare. If memory chip prices are spiking, iPhone's margins get squeezed. That's the fear. That's like the translation to what it is. So they basically were flagging Apple as like pricier iPhones. Are these going to go up in price? So FTC chair Andrew Ferguson called Apple CEO Tim Cook to accuse him of allegations of censoring conservatives in the newsfeed, which did happen. So a lot of stuff in Apple. Apple basically ran down to 260, broke under 270 support decisively. Next support's at 260, it's testing that now, then 252. I have calls on Apple. I'm actually very disappointed that this happened and Apple is not doing very good. Microsoft, okay. Microsoft is getting wrecked. Found a base at 400 today. Was holding 399 even though the sell-off was happening. It was kind of there the entire time. And I'll tell you something about Microsoft. The sell-off did not really affect Microsoft. It was already down. It's now testing 400 as a critical support. It's in free fall though. It's the worst Mag 7 year-to-date performer, down 27% from the 555 all-time highs. It's I'm bullish on Microsoft in the general short term, but it's getting hit right now. Google getting wrecked again. Okay, all these are going down. Okay, Google looks like it could do well, but Google is not doing well right now. I don't think Google's going to find a lot of buyers over 300. Google could actually be a really good company because I think Google out of the Mag 7 is the strongest company, but it's testing its 309 support. It's holding now, but it's still very vulnerable. I think it's bullish though. I do think Google will be bought up on the dips. Amazon dropping under 200 a day, and kind of like Microsoft, 199 for Amazon here. Microsoft was 399, and Amazon kind of held that and then kind of tracked back up. Amazon stock has seen its worst 7-day stretch since 2022, shredding over 16% in a very short period of time. Massive AI spending plans are not going well with investors, and Amazon in itself is putting a lot of money up. It really just cares about its, investment into AI, and they don't like the $200 billion capex right now. So it's flirting with 200. That's a critical line. Below that, Amazon can go down. I'm bearish on Amazon. I think this is a dip buying opportunity, but the market does not care about the long term right now. Meta, running down, running down, running down. Meta is not doing very good. I think that Meta is still going to break more. It broke its 660 support. It's now 18% off its all-time highs at 796. 645 was a low of the day, and I think it's bearish. I think it's going to go down. I think there's definitely winners in the Mag 7 and definitely losers. Tesla is kind of a relative winner, which kind of saved it here. It's selling off, but not like in an extreme way in terms of perspective. Like Tesla is still bullish. It recovered back from yesterday, and it's probably going to recover back overnight. We'll just see how it performs. Looks like it's tracking down a little bit, but I think it's holding this 410 to 436 range. I think it's bullish, but it's getting hit right now. Now, NVIDIA is flat. NVIDIA is not moving too much. NVIDIA is trading at 180 to 190. NVIDIA is at 187 right now. Kind of held all day. Didn't do too much. And NVIDIA is the most powerful company in the market. So the target for NVIDIA has been raised. I think that the memory chip scare is a double-edged sword because the rise in chip prices for NVIDIA could mean demand is insatiable, but also it could hurt NVIDIA because people might be buying less because it's very expensive. People could be shifting out of that marketplace, you know what I mean? So my NVIDIA call is still alive and very well. I think that holding the call would be really good, and I think it's going to coil up, and I think it's going to push up. So I think NVIDIA is bullish. I think NVIDIA is going to be very, very bullish. Goldman PT raised its evaluation to 200. Memory chip price inflation means that NVIDIA has pricing power. So what we're going to see is Apple's running down. The trigger is memory chip margins. Microsoft running down. Software's day 2 sell-off. Google, broad tech sell-off. Amazon, $200 billion capex. People are not happy about it. Worst 7-day period since 2022. Meta still going down. Meta not having a lot of success just in general. Tesla, it had an analyst upgrade. And then NVIDIA, I think it could be bullish as well. So we're bullish on NVIDIA. We're kind of neutral on Tesla. The rest of them we're kind of bearish on. Besides Microsoft, I think Microsoft can have a good balance and track back up. So this is one of the ugliest Mag 7 days in weeks. 5 of the 7 names are completely red, with Apple getting absolutely torched. Cisco's earnings lit a fuel above everything else. The software Armageddon and the disaster is now progressing. It's day 2 for the software stuff. And software ETFs are down another 2.5%. Anthropic's $30 billion raise, a $380 billion valuation, reinforces the narrative that AI companies are sucking the oxygen away from traditional SaaS. The only one that's kind of like an anti-rotation shelter is Tesla, and NVIDIA, which is the beneficiary of the whole chip prices going up, are doing well. Everything else is getting fucked. Everything else is getting sold. CPI tomorrow is going to be absolutely massive. If inflation comes out hotter after this Cisco memory chip margin warning, the market is going to puke. The market is going to drop. The market is going to run down. Cool CPI, potential relief rally. So this is the most important data point in weeks for the Mag 7. So for your trades, for my trades, for everybody out there, I would go with NVIDIA. I would go with Tesla. I would cut off a lot of other things. I would stick with clear plays and puts, and I would be very, very much with the momentum. I'm going to be trading a lot of scalps, so that's what I'm going to be focusing on, and we're going to make a lot of money in the group. If you guys ever want to trade down here with me, you can click the link. I would love to see you in there. But I hope this market update was useful for you guys. Not too many individual stocks that I'm looking at that I think will run up. The only stock that I think is going to be really, really good are the Walmarts. are the Johnson & Johnsons, which are running up a little bit. Walmart as well, running up a little bit here. Boom, pushed up to 134. And look, these companies are going to do well because people are going to rotate out of tech stocks and into something that's more safe. Gold and silver down, Bitcoin down, a lot of things down. So we can push calls on these, but at the end of the day, I don't know how long this will last, and we've just got to wait and see. CPI's coming in tomorrow. Stick with me. Let's run it up. Let's make some money. And I hope this information was useful. Appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to watch this report. Till next time, peace.